Hello again. After a brief trip to Dome Island to get the symbol of its rotating dome, we are going to go back to Crater Island. And our goal now will be to get into this building. Fortunately, we can't go through the door because it is locked. There's a lever here, which I passed by last time. Let's switch it. And something just turned off. But what? Well, let's go back here. Now we can see we stopped this fan from rotating. But before we do anything with that, let's see if anything happened here. Oh, it was open when we lowered it, so something must have closed it. It's a frog. And that sound should be familiar. It's the first of the eyeballs we saw, which we already identified with a frog by use of the image of a frog appearing in the opening of the cave. But now we've confirmed that with the sound. These frogs are actually called itrams, and the poison dart that was used to shoot the guy who found us in the cage in the beginning actually contained poison that was extracted from this frog thingy that we just captured. That's what this thing is for, to trap these frogs. Okay, but now we stopped this fan by pulling the lever, and we can get through this duct. I could just call this game Mist 2. Let's climb through some ducts. Fortunately, we're not trying to climb through it with magnets, like in Mythbusters. That would have made a lot of noise. So, now we are in Gehn's laboratory. The game allows me to zoom in on this side of the desk without any seeming purpose, because there's nothing there. Actually, if you go to Gehn's laboratory immediately, if you go to Crater Island immediately from Village Island and don't do all the stuff I did, you can find Gehn's pipe lying here. And if you come back now, it is gone. So obviously Gehn is moving around on this island while we're here. We're not alone. This here is Gehn's journal. I'm not yet going to read it. I'll read it in the next video. We have writing equipment. And some other stuff. Just Gehn's workspace. This looks like some kind of a model solar system, and it probably represents the stars in the star fissure rather than the actual sky. And look at that, it is the missing eyeball, the one from the water. So now we know the number on it, 1. Well, since we already knew that the other 4 balls had the numbers 2, 3, 4 and 5 on it, it stands to reason that this one was 1. Unfortunately, it doesn't make any sound other than the sound of a ball rolling on a wooden table. So we still cannot solve this puzzle by sound alone. We're gonna have to get a look at the ball in its original location. Now, for those of you who were playing this game and didn't see the ball floating in the water, like me the first time I played it, this here letter will help you. 87-7-28. Well, based on the dates in Atris's journal, that's not that long ago. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope in my survey room, I suppose that's the spyglass we saw in the lake, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently, and quite mysteriously, been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalogue the others. So this confirms that the missing ball is in the lake, and it also tells us that it can be seen from that scope that's in the middle of the lake. And since we need to get a look at it to identify the animal symbol, that could be the solution to that particular problem, if we could get a look through that scope. Okay, let's look around a bit more in this office. We see these lamps here with warg tusks around them. Gehn likes to use warg tusks for all of his decorating. I suppose he got some tips from Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. If you didn't get that, in his song he says that he uses antlers for all of his decorating. Another desk. This looks like an ordinary tree, but if we look through the magnifying glass, okay, I couldn't think of that word. If we look through the magnifying glass, we see there's some sort of star-shaped thing in the middle. I'm not sure what the significance of that is. I suppose this is one of the trees they use to make paper. We see here some books, a stamp, a lamp, some more paper. I suppose these are ink ingredients, maybe one of the ingredients used to make the special ink used by the Dunny. And I think this is a paper press of some sort. Whee! Well, wasn't that fun? Apparently the game designers didn't feel like rendering all of the other images with the thing closed, so it opens again. We have yet one more desk here. This looks like a sort of a teapot, except it's completely closed. If we turn it on, we see that the water in it is doing something strange. It's moving up. This could be the answer as to the water's strange behavior we've seen elsewhere, like the holes in the lake and the tunnel with the mining cart. Apparently, Riven's water doesn't like heat and goes away from it. Why would it do that? Well, we'll find out. You can open this drawer and see a collection of eggs inside and maybe some small stones. I'm not sure if these are eggs or not. And these, I don't know, they look like Dungeons and Dragons dice to me, but that's just me. Some more scientific experiments that Gehn apparently was doing. Equipment he was using for that. Maybe possibly experimenting with different ink formulas. Try and get his books to work. And another one of the traps for the Itram frogs. One more thing. Here in the middle is looks like a furnace. Inside it is a book which has been partially burnt. Apparently it doesn't work. So Gehn has obviously not been that successful in creating linking books. But we've seen linking books in the dome, so it means he must have had some success. Just not as immediate as he might have liked. Okay, now to turn to Gehn's journal. Again, I will read this journal in the next video, the same way I did with Aethys' journal. If you're not interested in me reading the contents of the journal, just skip it and go to the video after that. See you then.